Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Huddle.
Talk about football, we do.
Get it? Voice, yeah.
Hilarious. Yeah, it's pretty good, right?
I was very confused. I thought you cut out for a second, but now you're All right, of course, I'm Levi Jenkins alongside here with Elijah Coer. This is episode 13, week 13, and is of course season 2. It's today's playbook. As usual, we got the NFL news to kick us off, Elijah's trash talk, games of the week, our takeaways, SeaPack Reacts, and we wrap everything up with a steel curtain session that I don't think either of us are looking forward to doing.
Yeah, here we go.
Seriously. Without further ado, this is the NFL news of the week. Alvin Kamara breaks, not his leg, but a sideline official's leg during the Saints game. Pretty sure it was chain gang members, right?
Yeah, it was disgusting and very unfortunate. And prayers out to that guy too, just doing his job and breaks the leg, standing around.
Right.
But yeah.
And then for the Eagles, that game was nuts. 49ers won that game in their revenge game. But the head of security got ejected after fighting with Greenlaw, the middle linebacker for the 49ers. And then they're interested in signing Zach Ertz, and they signed Shaquille Leonard, who was recently released by the Colts. It seems like them and the 49ers are just playing with salary cap off. But this is, I don't understand how they can keep on making these signings. Doesn't make sense to me, but hey, they want to win a Super Bowl. They're never Elijah, you want to pick it up?
Yeah, the Carolina Panthers, they are the first team to be eliminated for the playoffs, and honestly, not a surprise.
Not surprised at all.
And then
I thought maybe the Arizona Cardinals would have been after this week too.
Yeah. Thanks, Pittsburgh. Mike Evans makes history with 10 straight seasons with 1,000 yards, and he is tied with Jerry Rice, the great Jerry Rice.
And he's still got like I think a couple more seasons in him.
Yeah, I don't know how he spent 10 years in Tampa Bay. But...
Yeah, Tampa's pretty impressive. Congratulations to him. Moving on, the Jets cut their starting quarterback of 1 week, Tim Boyle, and then switch back to Zach Wilson to start this Sunday. So, sure.
Okay.
New York, whatever. You're irrelevant. You still weren't even be traded for another irrelevant quarterback.
All right. Speaking of that draft class, I guess I don't really have a segue into that. I wanted something. But Trevor Lawrence exits Monday night game with a very scary ankle injury. It was a very close game. They were getting down the field, and one of his linemen just stepped onto his leg or his ankle,
bent backwards, and
and then
he fell over on it.
It was very unfortunate. And they couldn't even get him a cart. Come on, get the man a cart. He had to walk all the way to the locker room.
Just get him a cart.
He's your franchise quarterback. Get him a cart.
And then this might honestly be one of the biggest news things maybe of the week. I'm not even sure how long he's going to be out. But you think about like NFL 3, you have a quarterback, wide receiver, and your running back. For instance, how us Steelers fans always remember, we had Big Ben, AB, and Le'Veon Bell, right? Well, this year for the Browns, Deshaun Watson out for the season, Nick Chubb out for the season, Amari Cooper is injured and lost to Rams this past Sunday. As I said, I don't know how long he's going to be out, but man, these Browns are struggling right now.
Yeah. I mean, their offense wasn't doing anything anyway. It was their defense the whole time, but still. Yeah.
Browns. That is it for your NFL news of the week. Bet you guys are looking forward to something more exciting. It is time for the trash talk of the week by none other than Elijah Coer.
All right. So let's start out with the Cowboys. Might as well just call them the Dallas Lambs because CeeDee Lamb is their whole entire team. Chargers. When Phillip Rivers has more kids than points in that game, he has 10 right now, and there was only 6 points scored. Yeah, he has 10. He just had 10 this year. Yeah. Yep. I don't know how
From
he
the
does
fact
it.
that Mike Evans has as many 1,000 receiving yards.
Yeah, he might have to return the football to pay for all of those kids. And then let's look. I have the Steelers next. Let me find them real quick. Oh yeah, okay. Steelers. What didn't go wrong that game? Just about everything. Eagles. When your head of security is a Philadelphia fan, they got to start fights. That's what Philly does. Terrible fans there. And then the Rams. Remember when the name Puka Nakua meant absolutely nothing? Now he's one of the best receivers, one of the best rookie receivers. Hopefully,
I'm gonna say best receiver in the league's a stretch.
yeah,
Yes, it's hard to give a rookie that title, especially if he's not a first rounder. You know how the NFL works.
yeah.
Oh, you're irrelevant going into the draft. You're still irrelevant unless you're Brock Purdy. But
Jaguars. I already mentioned it. If your franchise quarterback's getting hurt, get him a cart. Get him a cart. He's not walking all the way into the locker room with a broken ankle or whatever he had. That's just.
it honestly isn't that difficult.
It's not. Or somebody carry him out on your back. You have linemen, like 300-pound linemen. They do that every day. Honestly, just. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then let's go on to the Packers. Romeo Watson, Reed Crafton, Dontavian, Aaron Jones, Wilson and the Quanzilla, Gary Clark and Alexander, Jordan Love story, baby, just say, go Paco. Thank you.
That was terrible.
Staying with the Packers game,
Oh,
Taylor
okay.
Swift, Simone Biles over Taylor Swift.
That's what I'm saying. But we all know the better gym this is Libby done.
Okay, and then finally, Trace McSorley, throw it on a dime like I need. With some women number 9. Let's go, baby.
Number 9 is Chris Boswell is number 9. But hey, Steelers signed Trace McSorley to the practice squad because Kenny's hurt. And Elijah, I think you forgot to say probably the most important one.
I did.
Christian McCaffrey for the 49ers.
Oh.
Week number 3.
He did. Yeah.
He did have a touchdown.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Well,
all right.
That's it for your trash talk of the week.
All right. Sure. Let's go on to our games of the week. Games of the week.
Games of the week. Games of the week.
Let's go. There's going to be a lot of singing in this episode.
Sounds more like people than a podcast.
Yeah.
Games of the week. Biggest blowout or the biggest win goes to Miami. They beat Washington 45-15. It's 2 weeks in a row Washington has let up 45 points.
Yeah, they like that number apparently on defense.
Biggest upset.
Woo!
Green Bay beats Kansas City 27-19. To be honest, I'm kind of happy Kansas City lost. I'm sick of them winning. And I'm happy for Jordan Love. Not happy for Elijah, but I'm happy for Jordan Love. Good job.
Thank you.
And once again, another game was decided by poor referee calls. Just this time, it was in favor of the opposite team, not the Chiefs.
Yeah, the Packers paid a little bit more. You know, they both pay the refs a lot, but Packers have more salary cap to afford that right now because their team is all rookies basically. So.
And then the best game of the week was this past, I guess last Thursday. Dallas beat Seattle 41-30. I'm not going to say too much about that now. I'll leave that for the SeaPack Reacts, but still, very, very mad about that game.
Yeah, you should be. We
get the 49ers this week.
Huh.
We go 49ers, Dallas 49ers.
Wow. That's unfortunate for you.
3 weeks, yeah. All right, that's it for your games of the week. It's time for takeaways. We were just talking about this. This seems definitely more of like an overreaction to the week, knowing that this team is still 8-4. But is the Chiefs' reign over? Is there some other AFC team that is on their way up, a younger team, a team just with an all-around better roster that is going to come and take the throne away from the Chiefs? As I said, they're currently 8-4. They are first in the AFC West and third in the AFC Conference. So, I don't know.
Yeah, and I would definitely say no to that because as long as you have Patrick Mahomes on your team, I don't think your reign's ever going to end. I just think you can't ever doubt him. Whenever they got rid of Alex Smith and they were going to start Patrick Mahomes, I was like, there's no way this guy's going to be any good. and obviously we see how that happened. And then their first Super Bowl year, they didn't have as good of a record as they usually do, and they ended up winning it. So I
Right.
just think as long as Patrick Mahomes is there, that they're going to be good. And I know they don't have the greatest receivers, but Rashee Rice is starting to get better, and Travis Kelce still consistent.
I think number 24 receiver Sky Moore is the best receiver on that team, other than Marquez.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling, of
They're
course.
all
Yeah,
terrible.
they should have brought back Juju, but yeah, definitely. I would say definitely.
No, but honestly, as I said, overreaction. I don't think this is quite the end for the Chiefs. If they lose to a team like the Ravens in the playoffs, who don't win playoff games, it's just a thing. Then I would be maybe a little bit more lenient to teams better do something fast, or they could not win a Super Bowl for the next couple of years, which I think the league would be fine with, honestly.
And you think about it, like this year, all the quarterbacks are hurt basically for these playoffs. Trevor Lawrence, Kenny Pickett,
which comes to our next takeaway. What is with all the quarterback not interceptions, injuries this season?
Yeah, so Trevor Lawrence, Kenny Pickett just got hurt this past week. Aaron Rodgers has been out. Kirk Cousins is out. Joe Burrow is out. It's just been very, very weird. Like,
right. And even on top of that, Daniel Jones out for the season.
Daniel Jones, yeah.
Richardson out for the season.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson.
Derek Carr got hurt. He's not out for the season. Yep.
And I mean, I feel like we sound like every NFL player now talking about this, but I feel like part of it could be the grass with the turf, as you can say.
If you think about it, a lot of those injuries are like leg or ankle, Achilles, hamstring, all that. So you start thinking, where's your leg? Where are your feet at? It's on the turf.
Right.
So, yeah.
But then, like, I don't know. Remember, like 2 years ago, like you touched a quarterback and it was a passing or a roughing the passer call.
Yeah, when Tom Brady was there.
Tom Brady was like down to that point. But no, I feel like they've loosened up on those calls a little bit. Maybe you guys have backed down a little bit. Maybe not have been so harsh going after the quarterback. But I feel like there hasn't been that many flags. I'm not saying to bring it back by any means. I am definitely more of a defensive guy watching football more than I would like to see a good offense. But I'm not sure. I think I honestly don't have an answer to this, Elijah. That's why I just wanted to see what you were thinking. I just don't know why there's been so many quarterbacks. Do you think maybe it's been the increase of how much better the defensive lines have gotten compared to the offensive lines? I feel like the offensive lines just aren't really good anymore. But one thing I've noticed on top of that is, like, I feel like the offensive linemen are smaller now. Like, they want them to be more, like, agile than, like, just straight blockers. Like, get up the field and block. And that's leaving guys like still Aaron Donald, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Max Crosby, Danielle Hunter, just to come in and tear these quarterbacks apart.
I think it's a lot of because of like rule changes, because 10 years ago, like some hits on QBs, they were insane, and like today that's like a fine ejection. But the quarterbacks I don't think they're trained anymore to. So like back in the day, they would have to learn to play with that pressure and getting used to those hits. But they're, all the lightness and softness that there is now in the NFL. They probably don't train as hard.
Being able to dance around and then like, I got hit. Well, what happened? Why can't you guys block? Well, I mean, I'm not saying that's with all quarterbacks, but
and there's just a lot of change that's been going through the NFL. I mean, like a long time ago, passing wasn't even that huge. It was mostly the run game. So
now
I think even as the quarterbacks get more agile and they're scrambling a lot more and they're throwing it a lot more, I think it's just, injuries are going to pile up with a lot more production from the QBs. So, that's my take on that.
Yeah, I would agree with you completely on that one. And then our last takeaway of the week, can the Rams like quietly be a big playoff contender? Like, do you think they can sneak into one of those later seeds, so maybe 6th or 7th seed? You just kind of look at what they've done over the past 3 seasons. They won the Super Bowl in 2021, had a major drop off compared to what they did in 2021. In 2022, they went 5-12, missed the playoffs. this year. They're currently 6-6, second in the NFC West, and seeded right now 8th in the NFC Conference. So, Elijah, 2023, what's going to happen with this Rams team?
Yeah, I mean, they're good. They have great receivers. Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Kyron Williams, their running back, has been
They're
really...
so happy he's back.
Yeah.
They're so happy. And even Tutu Atwell's been playing good.
Yeah, and yeah, they've got a lot of targets, and when Matt Stafford's healthy, it's a good offense. And the defense, I know a lot of it is young right now, besides Aaron Donald, but Aaron Donald is still a disruptor in the game, and I mean their secondary is not that bad. I mean it's not like great, but they're winning games. Right. I mean they just kind of blew out the Browns a little bit. So
I feel like on their day they can be one of the better teams in the NFL.
Yeah, and I think
that's because I don't think they are at that point yet.
Yeah, and I think they could stay toe to toe with the 49ers in the playoffs. I think. Will they win? I don't know, but I think they could.
That's a hot take. I don't know. I don't know about all that. I think they could sneak into the playoffs if they ended up playing.
And I think they could beat the Lions easily. I mean,
I think they could beat the Lions.
Yeah, they could.
How nuts would that be? Your old quarterback comes in your home stadium, beats you.
Yeah. I don't think anybody would be mad at that game if the Rams didn't win.
The Rams
I think they would be happy for him.
No, because honestly, it's just like the two good guys of the NFC. Like,
yeah,
you just like you can't really hate the Lions. You can't really hate the Rams.
Well, I hate the Lions, so.
And I kind of hate the Rams
so forget that. But yeah, anyway, the Rams can obviously beat the South team because the South teams suck,
but they weren't. There's no way they get the 5th seed because there's no way an NFC South team gets higher than the 4th seed. So
yeah,
who knows? I would not be surprised if they make the playoffs because the Seahawks have a tough schedule from the remainder of their schedule. And look at the Rams; they have Baltimore, which is going to be a tough matchup. And then they got Washington, New Orleans, the Giants, and San Francisco. So other than that week 14 and week 18 matchup, those 3 games in the middle, 15 through 17, should be wins. What are they, 6-6 right now?
Yeah.
They could finish 9-8.
Yeah.
Easily and get maybe a 7th round or a 7th seeded team.
Yeah.
So would not be surprised if they snuck into the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, they were just in until the Packers won.
Right.
So there's that. But yeah, look out for the Rams. Maybe. Don't overlook them yet until the end of the season. But that's your takeaways of the week. And so,
guess what?
What? Tell me.
Your time starts right now. SeaPack Reacts. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so the Packers beat the Chiefs in a great upset. I think the first 2 drives they ended up scoring, which was awesome. They were driving down the field. And I thought what was kind of interesting about that game is like they had very little amount of drives going on because the drives took so long for both teams. It was pretty funny actually. But yeah, Jordan Love looks really good again. He made Christian Watson played really well, and Romeo Doubs had an insane catch, and also Watson with the Moss touchdown. With the running game, we still need to get it started a little bit more, but it wasn't bad. The defense, it looked better. Obviously, Joe Barry is not a favored person in Green Bay, but I think he's doing better than he has been against the Chiefs. And there's a lot of penalties going on, stupid calls for both sides. But you know what? That's the NFL today. So the Chiefs still could have won that game. So I don't think you can use that excuse anymore. But
all right,
that's I get. All right, good.
Okay. Well, starters, freaking DK Metcalf. What a game. I feel bad to every fantasy owner that benched him, including me. I benched him at 8:14 Eastern time. The game started at 8:15 Eastern time. Watched that game, and like 10 minutes into the game, he has a huge touchdown. So I was screaming, yay, and why the heck did I not start on my fantasy team? But long story short, we're struggling without Kenneth Walker, I think, a little bit. Zach Charbonnet didn't have a terrible game, but it's not like we have another backup for him that's going to be good. DJ Dallas kind of sucks. Geno Smith was playing really good, got cocky, targeted Bland one too many times because he was cooking him all night. Threw the interception when he was looking for Lockett, which kind of switched the momentum in the second half of that game. And then Elijah, it is 4th down in a drive you have
I
to
think
score.
that's your time, actually.
No, I
So
started
that's
like 40.
unfortunate. No, I don't think so.
I'm gonna finish this. Call freaking Micah Parsons. He's the best, one of the best defenders in the league. You're just gonna let him run through it,
Yeah,
unblocked, untouched.
I mean, come on.
And Gino's too old to even maybe acknowledge that he's even there or move out of the way.
I mean,
So
that's
I
a
don't know.
lion right there. You see a lion coming at you. I mean, your reaction time is not going to be, not going to be
Right.
that quick. But I mean, it's
So,
Micah Parsons, one of the best. You definitely got to block the guy. Learn that, Seattle.
and
That's why
then
you
other
suck.
than that, Jay has said he's having himself a couple good weeks here in
Yeah,
a row. So
yeah. Good
that's
job
it
for
for SeaPack Reacts. Which means here we go.
Steelers.
Here we go.
Pittsburgh just lost to Arizona. James Conner. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Elijah, is it really going to come down to another? This is the last game of the season against the Ravens. We have to win to get into the playoffs, or
Absolutely, yeah. That's the
you think
that's the
it's going to be?
script. That's the script, and it's been a good script for the past 10 years.
I think we'll be 9-8 at that point of the season.
Yeah, well, it'll definitely come down to that game, I think.
I don't know if we'll be 9-8, but we should have a
yeah, we should have at least 10 wins, I think.
at least.
At least, yeah. But it'll probably come down to that because it always does. And you know what? Those are good games, and hopefully Kenny will be back by then, and we'll clutch up there. But T.J. Watt talks about how the NFL is against him with all those holds that they do not call. I would agree. I mean, they're even saying Myles Garrett's the Defensive Player of the Year, and
which he's wrong. But they're wrong for T.J. Watt better.
They don't even acknowledge T.J. Watt basically. But anyway, I think
they hold him every play too. Now, if I was an offensive lineman and I saw Cam Hayward going at my center, and then I have Highsmith and TJ coming at my tackles, and Benton's coming at me as a guard. And there might be Ogunjobi in a play. Yeah, obviously I'm going to hold. It's a great defensive line. It's a great defensive front. So I don't really know. They hold him every single play. Whenever your arm is wrapped around some guy's neck and he's fighting to even break off of that, or fighting to breathe, obviously, you might want to just call a flag, just throw it out. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh well. I mean,
already.
No, I wasn't. But let's move on to Trace McSorley.
Adding more minutes. Yeah.
Trace McSorley.
What he's wearing, number 9.
Yeah.
We can't wear number 9. We already said this. Chris Boswell has the number.
Yeah.
And he's definitely not going to play.
Yeah,
but we got him
on
to the practice squad.
Yeah.
Trubisky's going to start, or Trubisky started this past Thursday. By the time this episode is out.
Yeah. Or maybe he didn't.
Maybe he didn't. Maybe he got hurt. Maybe Mason Rudolph came in.
Yeah. Who knows?
But I guess whatever. Great, we got a Penn State guy.
Look at us. He's the GOAT.
Moving on, Elijah. I mean, I haven't been the one. I've been one of the main people just in my friend group or at school to defend him. But is Coach T out soon? Mike Tomlin, is his time almost done? Or is it does there need to be a change in everything in the Steelers? We got a new stadium name. We're trying to figure out if Kenny's our quarterback or not. New offensive coordinator, to which we should get a new defensive coordinator too, soon. It's just I don't know. What's your thoughts?
I think it's definitely been a lot more of a conversation nowadays. Coming last year, I don't think you would be talking about that. Year before, you definitely would not be.
Not at all.
But I think
especially
now,
if he gets that record too.
Yeah. But it was a terrible loss to the Cardinals. We should not have lost that game, and it's not Matt Canada, obviously. But you know what? The thing is, we just fired our offensive coordinator, and we have 2 offensive coordinators basically right now. Okay.
Right.
So we we're so like we don't have our, if that makes sense, like, you know what I'm saying, we don't have our offensive coordinator anymore. We don't have the guy, so we're obviously not going to win every game
Right.
because
But
we're not set for
we
that.
can't say, well, Canada's gone, so we're gonna blame everybody else. Eventually you have to blame Kenny.
Yeah, I
You
don't
have to
think Kenny. It
blame
wasn't Kenny's
Tomlin.
fault. Well, I don't think it's even Kenny's fault this game. He looked good and before he got hurt, and
Right.
it's, I mean,
It's
Tomlin.
just well, and you can't leave a young team with no set leader.
Yeah,
And that was the issue.
exactly.
Even though we had that set leader, he stunk.
Yeah,
So
he wasn't really a leader. He was just a guy
whenever
who
you have, I'm
somehow
trying
got
to
a
think,
job.
out of our main like positions, our starting tight end is now it's only his third year in the league. Kenny, it's only what his third year in the league, or is it second?
Second, yeah.
Second. Oh, Fryer moves into his third. Najee's in his second or
No,
third.
he's in his
Something like
third.
that.
Yeah, third.
Yeah. George Pickens only in his second. Calvin Austin in his second. The main guy on our offense that is over 3 years is Deontay Johnson. He's in year like 5 or 6. So
Yeah,
it's a young team. You need to lead these guys.
yeah,
And
yeah,
doing it with two guys or just even one guy that's bad is not going to help them at all.
yeah. And you think about it. This is also something to keep in mind. Of the teams who fired their offensive coordinators, I go back to Jeff Saturday. His first game as the coach, they won their game. After that, they didn't win a single game.
Right.
The Raiders, they once they fired their coach, they won that game. Right after that, I think they won another one. But after that, they're not perfect again. Like, firing your coach doesn't make you perfect. I know we were expecting a lot, and just because we fired a coach, but
And that's the risk firing a coach in the middle of the season. But
sure,
I
yeah.
think we all knew that was past due.
Yeah, and I think everybody just needs somebody to blame for the Steelers' loss, and I think Mike Tomlin is that last guy right now.
Right. And honestly,
So
I think it's time to start blaming some of the players.
yeah, and again, we still have Matt Canada's playbook. Basically, we didn't
Right.
change the playbook. We're still going off of that, and you know what? Kenny hasn't always looked good either, so
No.
you definitely got to keep that in mind. But
Enough on the negative side of things. We can get back to that later.
yeah,
What was good? And I think there's only 3 things we have down. TJ Watt, obviously, got another sack and a half. They wanted to call it a half one. We don't really know because the NFL hates TJ. But he had a good game. Early George Pickens looked great. Got me like 9 fantasy points within like the first quarter and did nothing the rest of the game. And Mitch Trubisky was okay until he fumbled that snap, which wasn't exactly his fault.
yeah.
Um,
I thought Mitch Trubisky looked good, like not more than okay, honestly.
right.
Just coming in, I mean, he obviously wasn't practicing. He didn't practice the whole week. I think is what they said, but he came in and he looked fine, and under the circumstances, obviously,
We don't know
I have
either
for
way.
him.
He says that he's gonna play aggressive. That
Yeah,
he played aggressive he wants to this past Thursday. Obviously,
and I
by
believe
the
that,
time this is
honestly.
out, we don't know if he did or not.
Yeah,
Um, or we
but
will know, but we don't know currently if he will or
yeah,
not. But yeah, that's all we had that was good this week. So
yeah.
moving on to bad, which we have plenty. Miles Killebrew, what the heck are you doing? Accounting for like 2 or 3 special teams penalties. And if you're saying special teams isn't important, yeah, it is because it switches field position a lot.
Yeah.
And a matter of 15 yards on the Steelers means a lot too, whenever
Yep.
we're trying to complete a drive. So
Yeah.
that game for him. Terrell Austin, I'm not convinced that he's the guy. We should have kept Brian Flores. I loved him. I would even love to see him be a head coach here for us, or at least the head coordinator.
Yeah.
Future. I don't know. Where is he at? Minnesota?
Yeah, he's defensive
I've
coordinator
literally
there.
not heard of him at all.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what's the big news on Minnesota's defense. I think they're like, I don't know. I think they're like kind of good, but I don't know how great they are. But
yeah, but I don't. Terrell Austin. I know if it's a 3rd and like 15, you're supposed to send blitzes. That's what a
Yeah.
good team would do. When we do it though, our secondary's not good enough to cover 1-on-1 for that long. So
you know who actually we've missed out on the good? Joey Porter, he didn't let Marquise Hollywood Brown have a single target or
Right.
catch.
So Joey Porter lockdown wise is insane. I think he had
Yeah,
another penalty there, which I was mad
he
at.
did. Yeah, pass interference, but
But
um,
it's just even like a couple of the balls that like we should have batted down or heck even picked off, we just couldn't get to. And
yeah,
it's not like Kyler Murray's a great quarterback either. He's
no.
2 foot tall and
Yeah, they had a
honestly not
drive.
even accurate.
They had a 99-yard drive, and it was just Kyler Murray and Trey McBride.
Right.
How is that?
Well,
How
first
did
of all,
that?
how did you not score on the 1
Yeah,
yard?
honestly, yeah. I think they should have done a tush push there. I don't know why they tried to hand it
Because we don't
off.
believe in tush pushes.
Yeah, because yeah,
We're still stuck in like the 1940s.
yeah,
Whatever.
whatever. But
Maybe we should just combine with the Cardinals again. Steel hard or whatever we were.
yeah, but injuries plagued us this game.
Killed us. Landon
TJ,
Roberts.
yeah,
Um,
TJ Pickett, Roberts,
some other.
Najee. Well, I don't think Najee got hurt in the game, but Minka got hurt. He was playing with a broken hand,
The entire
apparently.
second. Which just shows how much Minka cares about this team, and I love Minka so much for that.
Yeah, and then Najee is hurt right now. I don't know if he's playing or not on Thursday. I guess you will know by the time this comes out.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure he didn't practice at all, and he has some knee injury right now.
Which
But
could be
yeah,
good for Warren, because Warren has been,
yeah,
for the 2 games that we haven't had Canada, Warren has not put up good numbers. So
yeah. And then yeah, so Kenny is going to be out probably 2 to 4 weeks. I think they said he had his surgery, ankle.
yeah, I thought we were moving on, but
Oh, sorry.
no,
I
that's why I said Mason Cole. Mason Cole did not get hurt, but for another thing of bad, he just played a bad game. 2 really bad snaps, which led to a crucial fumble in
yeah,
that third quarter. Honestly, it was a weird game too.
yeah.
Like
Altogether.
rain delays and all that stuff. It was a weird game.
Yeah, 2 rain delays too. It wasn't just one. But I think next year there's definitely going to be a change in center, especially after that. I mean, I know the ball's wet and everything, but you can't do that.
No, not at all.
You know, see Jason Kelsey doing stuff like that.
And then probably the saddest part of this week too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, Chris Boswell missed a field goal.
Yeah. Wow.
I remember Isaac saying, he was like, "Oh yeah, we're kicking a field goal." That's my brother Isaac. He was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna kick a field goal." I was like, Isaac, don't worry about it. I'm like, pause is automatic. He doesn't miss. Wide right. I was like, well, that just happened. And I was like, I don't even want to watch this game anymore. Because I was so
after
sick
that,
and tired of watching the Broncos Texans game, which was a good game. Better than all. But
yeah. It was a very bad day all around.
I don't even. But I feel like everybody in Pittsburgh was expecting this to happen. A bad team.
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh just usually plays to the level of their opponent. And this time
I think, yeah, we lost. But I think there was a lot of either we're destroying them or we're losing. And we lost.
We haven't destroyed a team in forever. So
yeah, we don't destroy teams anymore.
Game or a loss. It's a come from behind win or a bad loss. So
yeah,
that's how we roll in Pittsburgh.
Yep. At least as long as Mike Tomlin is there.
Nah, we'll keep him around. Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's such a huge name in Pittsburgh, so
we can't get rid of him, right? Not yet.
No, not yet.
All the time.
Yeah, he'll retire first.
Yeah. Well, that is it for your episode. I'm actually gonna be, or I was at the game on Thursday. For me and Elijah talking right now, I am going to the game on Thursday. So, I'm actually, I already saw the game in my mind. No, I'm joking. I can predict.
So what was the score?
Trubisky, 2 passing touchdowns.
Nice.
216 yards.
Wow.
And I think he goes 18 for 32.
Okay.
Maybe. Maybe not that bad. Maybe 18 for 28, 6, something like that. Najee Harris has. Oh wait, Najee's not playing. Either one of the running backs are gonna have like 15 rushes for like 82 yards, maybe a touchdown. T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith will combine for 2.5 sacks. And
what else? What's the score? No one cares about the stats. What's the score?
What's the score? Okay. Score is 20.
Wow.
That's a lot of points in basically.
Yeah, for both teams.
Yeah.
That's a lot for both teams.
27-2 teams. Maybe 27-17.
Okay.
I can
Who?
see
Steelers?
Max Zappi and Bailey Jones running all over us. Whatever quarterback.
Did you purposely
Yes,
mix
I
up?
purposely messed up.
Okay.
Like, I have some ball knowledge. Chill.
I was confused why it sounded so weird when you said that. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Bailey Jones. Bailey Jones in that ring, dude.
Uh,
Okay, whatever. But
well, my prediction.
we have to listen to you now.
Hey, my prediction is 13-9 Steelers.
13-9?
Yes, the Patriots will not score a touchdown. We will. It'll be a last-second touchdown. It's going to be 6-9 through the fourth quarter. Trubisky has a nice game-winning touchdown.
To who?
To Deontay, or no, to Pickens. But yeah, our run game it'll have to be Mitch the whole game because our run game is going to get stopped by the great rushing defense of. I mean, not great, but really pretty good rushing defense of.
I honestly cannot name you
Patriots.
one player on that defensive line.
Matt Judon.
Oh yeah, Judon.
But
the Patriots are like, come on, it should not be that hard. But then again, we said the same thing about the Cardinals.
Yeah, and if we're really relying on our run game without Kenny, it's going to be hard because I think they're ranked 8th in rushing defense right now. So the Patriots.
Okay.
So that's why I kind of think it's going to be a low scoring game.
Right.
And obviously, Mac Zappi and Bailey Jones aren't going to be scoring any points. So
that's put up that Patriots
okay
graphic to make a straight week. Yes, that is it for today's episode. Once again, just thank you for listening. I'm with Jenkins, alongside here with Elijah Coer, and this is The Huddle. Peace.